Flying high, he came to me with the sweetest smile. He told me he wanted to talk for a while. He said, Peter Pan, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. And ever since that day, I am a lost boy from Neverland, usually hanging out with Peter Pan. And when we're bored we play in the woods, always on the run from Captain Hook. Run, run, lost boy, they say to me, away.
So, why is equality important to you in general?
What?
Why is equality important to you?
Oh, equality.
I will address your question later. Do you have another person? Yes, please.
Guys, we're doing one.
Are there any people who have disagreed with your movements?
Who have done what?
Disagreed with your movements.
Are there any people who have disagreed with your movement?
It's not so clear to me. It's not quite clear.
Okay.
Which movement?
That's the other question. The other one.
How many people line up on average to vote?
How many?
People line up on average to vote.
Okay.
Okay. Ask
Wait, my name is Daniela, and my question is, from your point of view, what do you think about Kampala's environmental awareness?
Hello, my name is Kuzi and I worship the Lord Mayor. My question is, how many degrees should you have to be a mayor?
Thank you.
Hello, His Worship the Lord Mayor. My name is Dion, and my question is, what will happen if people build more factories to the air quality?
Hello, your worship the Lord Mayor. My question is, what do you think Kampala will look like in 20 years?
Thank you. Thank you. Address your question. You're welcome, your worship.
Get the basics of what Kampala is all about. I'll give you this booklet for detailed information about what is happening in Kampala. It's a synopsis of what we are doing here at KCCA, the general picture, the general outlook, and also the evolution of the city. You will have to trace the origin of the city from the days of Sekabaka Mutesa I, when it was still a Kibuga. But the first time it took shape as a city and declared and gazetted was 1950. That's when it was gazetted as a city. But previously, it was metamorphosing from one formation to another. But those who have tried to study the history, they trace it to the days of Sekabaka Mutesa, when he used to have his palace here at Mengo. And because he loved the hunting, and his favorite game was the impala, that's how they got the name Kampala. Derived from the word impala, the heel of the impala, because they used to roam around here, and the Kabaka on the throne at that time loved hunting so much. So they called it the heel of the impala, Akasozi ka Kampala, in the local language. And with the advent of the first explorer, not explorer as such, but You heard about sorry, Lugard? You heard about Lugard?
Children,
Yes.
Huh?
no,
You heard about Captain Lugard?
don't think so. No.
They have not heard about Captain Lugard.
I think their syllabus doesn't have caption.
Don't think so yet. It's better than that.
Oh, this is hard stuff for them. With the time you'll be learning about the explorers who came here at Old Kampala there, where he put up his fort, his garrison. He was a soldier in the British government. And he came and fought battles here. He established what we call a garrison, a military detach at Old Kampala. And he put his camp here in Kampala. And this is where he established his garrison and said, this is where now I am best. And that was in 1890. How many years are those? From 1890? Yes?
It could have been like 30.
Yes?
123 years?
123 years, probably.
Very close.
All right, very close. But you've got the idea. So that's when he arrived here. And since then, the British government took over this territory after overthrowing the local leadership, the traditional leaders, and established a colonial government, which was based here in Kampala. And Kampala was not a city then. So it started developing. Captain Lugard started developing it as a city. In 1903, they declared it a township. 1903. And in 1906, it became like a town council. And finally, in 1950, when Kampala got its first mayor. And in 1950, that was, to be specific, it was 18th September 1950. So the leadership that was in existence then, the colonial leadership, the British protectorate, we had the colonial hegemony government here, headed by a governor. So the governor at that time, who was coming from England, got this chain, this one you see, and handed it over to the first mayor. Okay? Handed it over to the first mayor, who was called, you know him, the first mayor of Kampala? He was called Sir Maini. From here we shall go up in the gallery, we have the photo gallery, you will see his picture. Now, I just want you to look at this. This is the chain that was given to Samaini. Who can read here for the rest? You come. But the first mayor by? Come and read again. Daniela?
Yeah.
Come and read again.
Everyone listen really carefully.
Listen carefully because you need to understand the significance of this.
Presented to his
There's a coat and the impala. You get it? The impala. Now, this is the logo, the symbol we got at that time to reflect the heritage of Kampala, the history of Kampala with the impala, and that's why we treasure it so much. The animal, you know the animal called the impala?
Yes.
Yeah.
We treasure it so much. This used to be its habitat. We displaced it. You know habitat. It used to stay here. It used to roam freely here because it was a forest. It was a jungle. Before this civilization, you see the settlement here, the modernity you see, it used to be a jungle. It used to be a habitat. So that's why we treasure that animal so much, because we derive the name Kampala from the word impala. So in 1950, this chain was given to the first mayor. Since then, we have had several mayors. Who knows how many? Since 1950. Do you know how many?
You can guess.
You just guess it. I'm just teasing you, Tikori, I'm sorry. Yes? Don't worry, you may not be exact.
12?
12? No. Yes? 15? No. 12? No. Since 1950? No. There are so many years there. Yes? No. You guy. 20? You are so close. Anyway, to cut the long story short, we have had 18 mayors since then. 18 mayors. And we have, amongst the 18 mayors, we have had only one woman. Who asked me the question about equality? We have had only one female mayor. You will see her picture up there when we move to the gallery. She's called Sabine. You will get the names from there. And that was before we got independence. Got independence in 1960, 1962. Shortly before independence, Kampala became the capital city of Uganda. Shortly before declaring Uganda as an independent country on 9th of October 1962, they had to first gazette Kampala as the capital city. But in 1950, it became the municipality. You will see the Lord Mayor's Parade building there. It was also built in 1949 and officially opened in 1950. It was a donation from the Meta Group. Meta Group are the ones who manufacture sugarcane. You know them? It's a very powerful company, a family rather here, who manufacture sugarcane. They gave us that building and handed it over to the colonial government. And also where the councillors sit. It's called the Meta Chambers. You will see where the councillors sit to discuss all these issues affecting you. So now specifically to the questions you asked, first of all, since it's about democracy and leadership, there is a reason. People would elect the councillors through a democratic process, and then in turn the councillors would choose from amongst themselves a mayor. And the title carried by the mayor that time was not his worship. No. Right now the title is his worship. But at that time, the title was Alderman. Have you heard of that title? Alderman. I have no blackboard to spell it for you. Alderman. A-L-D-E-R man. Alderman. Alderman. You'll get to understand so much about that title, Alderman, because it comes from the Greek word elder. Elder. You are an elder. You know an elder? Yes. A person who exudes authority, person who is a titular head, who is seen to be a patriarch. You know, it is what we call a patriarch in society. You are a father of that particular family. So the mayor was being treated as a father of the entire population, the family in Kampala. And that's why the citizens would give you this chain and say, please, be our alderman, be our elder, be our leader. Much as it was still colonial government. So from there, democracy has evolved. of Eros, local council 5, lining up, queuing up, was Christopher Yiga. There was Ziri Twaula, but he was not so much counted amongst the LC because it was more or less like LC 3. But with LC 5, it was called Christopher Yiga. Now, subsequently, we got another system where the people would cast a separate ballot, not lining up behind a particular candidate. No, this time they get ballot boxes. We have over 1,500 polling stations. You go, you campaign, and then they tick you on the ballot paper. You know ballot paper? Do you know ballot paper? They bring a piece of paper with your picture, with your portrait, with your name, and probably the symbol, and then they ask the voters to tick you. So that system started with Mayor Sebagala in 1998. 1998. That's where we first got, you can call it, directly elected mayor. The first directly elected mayor was Sebagala, Alhaji Nasantege Sebagala, 1998. Then the law changed again in 2010. Parliament brought a new law which changed the title of the mayor of Kampala to what is now the title of the mayor of Kampala? Yes? Huh? Lord Mayor, yes. So that was in 2011. They brought a new law which created now the title of the Lord Mayor, with the 5 divisions of Kampala having mayors. Every division has got a mayor. That's why Councillor Shira here, who is in the Central Division here, there is another mayor of Central Division. There are 5 mayors in Kampala, but the overall is Lord Mayor, who is none other than myself. So that is the system we have. I think that gives a fair picture of the structure of the leadership of governance. Not so? Of course, you know, we have so many councillors here who are also elected with the Lord Mayor. There are councillors who are elected with the mayors of the division urban councils. Do you know how many members of parliament we have in Kampala?
Have a guess.
Who can guess? Yes? 30? 30? No! Huh?
I think around 57.
No, those are very many. Yes?
11.
11? Close. They are 10. Anyway, they are 10 with one woman, only one woman member of parliament. The rest, the 9 are men. All the MPs, save for only one. The one is a woman member of parliament who represents the Woro City, called Malende Shamin. All the 5 mayors are also men, including the Lord Mayor, the overall. The 6 of us, we are all men. Now the question of equality. I believe in the principle, because my training as a lawyer, I believe in justice, I believe in equality. I believe in the divine providence that we are all equal before God. That we are. And even here in 1972, you will study about that history. when Amin chased away people whom we considered not to be Ugandans of a particular color, the Asians, and said this one should go away, which was wrong. So we are all equal before God. Not so? Regardless of our color. Never segregate, never divide people. As a leader, we want to unite people as one. Okay? So, human rights, equality, rights of the people. You know my vocation, my training as a lawyer, even after here, I go to the law firm, I go to court of law, I represent people who are suffering injustice, whose rights have been abused, who have been treated in an inhuman and degrading manner, in a cruel manner. So the point I want to make is understand this, my little kids. Respect for humanity, we call it human dignity. Human dignity. What is you are endowed with by virtue of creation. God created you in his image, and that's how one should treat you. How many degrees do you need to be the Lord Mayor? Incidentally, you don't need any degree. The law requires that you should be educated up to the level of senior 6. If you are qualified to be a member of parliament, you can be a Lord Mayor. So as long, but this is not to say that you should stop in the senior 6. But this is the minimum qualification. The law set the minimum standard. That for one to be the Lord Mayor of the capital city, you should be seized with at least the basic education of senior 6 level or its equivalent. But you can have as many degrees as possible. It's a beauty and another advantage for you. Have people disagreed with your movements? The way I understood these questions as if what I champion, what I espouse, and what I advocate for. I'm a strong believer in human rights, like I've told you. I am a strong believer and advocate of the will of the people, of rule of law, good governance, democracy as virtues, as values of society. Of course, there are those who do not agree with that sometimes, and it's the reason you have seen some of the issues going into court and elsewhere. What is your vision for Kampala in the next 20 years? That's a good one. You see, I'm really very, very much intrigued by that question. It's important. You know, any leader must have a vision. And the vision shouldn't be just short term, shouldn't be for today or tomorrow. No, it should be long term. You should be able to lead it, to have a picture. You know what they call building a castle in the air? Do you know what they mean? What they mean by that? Building a castle in the air. Fantasizing on something, imagining that at least I need to see a London. Who has been to London? Oh. So I imagine that one day Kampala shall look like London. That one day Kampala can look like a Paris. Who has been to Dubai? Oh, many of you. Okay, Johannesburg. You seem to be well traveled. So I imagine one day that Uganda can have that kind of infrastructure where you have good roads here, where you have good and beautiful structures like museums, you can have trains, underground trains, you can have all that kind of infrastructure that makes life easy. You understand? But we still have so many challenges. So we are trying to work around the clock to see that at least in a not so distant future, we have other good schools like yours, because there are many schools which are here in Kampala, but they are not as good as yours. We want to improve them. We want to improve on our health facilities, the hospitals, and also have so many good playground stadia. I mean, we have a number of stadiums in Kampala here, and all those other good facilities you have seen in other cities. But all that will require a lot of investment. Finally, environmental awareness. Daniel, you seem to be an ambassador of climate change, climate action. You see, we have just been to Dubai, where all nations worldwide under United Nations gathered to discuss about issues of environment, climate. And who asked about the air quality here in Kampala? Yes, good. These are the issues we have been discussing. In this book of the cities, the air we breathe in, we inhale. The experts have told us is toxic. You know something toxic? It is toxic. It's dangerous to our lives. It's hazardous to our lives. World Health Organization, you have heard about World Health Organization? It's an international organization under the United Nations to handle issues of health. They indicated to us that the air we breathe in, we inhale in Kampala, is 5 times worse than what is tolerable. 5 times worse. That's how bad it is. Because of factories, because of the dust, because of polluting the environment by so many pollutants. So they are saying it's disastrous. And from the records we have in this book, every year in Kampala we lose 31,000 lives on account of bad air, poor air quality. 31,000, to be exact, 31,160 lives are lost on what doctors call cardiovascular diseases, lung infections, all those health-related hazards arising out of pollution. That's how serious the matter of environment is to us in Kampala. And you in your school be ambassadors. That's why we encourage people to plant trees, because you must have studied about carbon dioxide. You have studied about carbon dioxide. And also, that's why we want now people to change, because we have also learned that so many people are dying because of what we call poor cooking methods, poor cooking energy they use. Do you use charcoal? Firewood. 93% of the people in Kampala use firewood and charcoal. And this is dangerous to their lives because they inhale those bad chemicals. They all end up in their lungs. And you have breathing challenges, you have lung infections, you have all those challenges. So I think I've tackled quite a number of those issues. Allow me in there. I thank you very much. No, minister for the entire country. But for Kampala, there is also a minister who also who supervises what we are doing. The minister for Kampala. Yes, you've got it. The name? Miss Minsa Kabanda. You are, yes, close to that. Hajati Minsa Kabanda. We also have the executive director. The executive director heads all the staff in the institution and supervises all the work being done by the staff of KCCA. Who knows her name? Yes? At least I've given you a hint. It is she. Who knows the name? Yes? Yes.
Sheila.
Sheila is a counselor. Is your counselor? But it's okay.
I take that blessing.
Anyway, we have Madame Chisaka. Unfortunately, she's not with us here. But you get to understand this, the executive director who is in charge of all our finances in Kampala and also the staff of Kampala. She's called Dorothy Chisaka.
That is Kato, this is Babiria, and then this is Ajab. This is Ajab. So we are truly blessed. Yes, double everywhere. Our dear.
You are Kato?
No. Are you the young one?
Yeah, you are Kato.
So you worship the mayor. With this wonderful team, we moved with 2 teachers. I know you know. Teacher Shamim is, she really loves you, so she's honored to have your presence. And yeah, we are really honored. Thank you so much for accepting it. I know from here we're still going to move around KCC and see. But before that, we have few presents for you. Can you have the head girl and head boy? Please come forward with your present. And
leadership to take decisions on a number of issues, okay? Before they are taken to the council. Where's the head girl? Aha. The head girl, only the head girl will have the opportunity of sitting here. Wow, okay? Thank you. So this is where we sit. Yeah, let's continue. This is the building that was constructed in 1949. I told you it was opened in 1950. It was constructed in 1949, but officially opened in 1950. And it used to be the first parliamentary building during the colonial days. We learn about the Ojeko, the Legislative Assembly, which was the parliament of those days before we got independence. It was called Ojeko, Legislative Council. You know now the parliament oversee what will be discussed in parliament. So in 1950, like I told you, when this change was handed over to the first mayor, you remember the date? Who remembers the date? 18th of September 1950, when this change was handed over to the first mayor of Kampala. You will get the opportunity to move closer and see the first mayor. I told you the name called Maini, you will go there and see the full name, Maini. Since then, we have had all these mayors. I told you the first woman mayor was called Isabel. She's there in the middle there. This woman is there. And you see the year when we are showing the office. But now you see when that system was brought in, all these ones were appointed, elected by councillors. None of them was directly elected. We were all elected by councillors. So it's only this one now where democracy has started by the people lining up
behind a particular candidate, but he was also not directly elected because they first elected LC1, LC2, up to LC5. Then it's those who are LC3 who lined up behind him and he was elected. But now I told you about the ballot box. It is this one now. The first directly elected. You can switch here, is there? 1998 is called Nasa Sevanga. And then, of course, the whole of it is the complex where the road mayor works from all these other people and the leaders at different levels, but this is now the office. So whoever goes into elections, this is what they are fighting for. Whoever goes into elections, I want to see that chair of the road mayor to sit here, take decisions on behalf of the people of Kampala who elect us. So this is it. So I'm here until 2026. 3 more years. So until the people of Kampala decide who should be here again, who next should be here. But I'm here until 2026. So in future, if you are interested in this seat, now you have seen it. And you have had the qualifications. Not so? Yes? I came here in 2011. That's when I was first elected. But before I became the mayor or the road mayor, I was a member of parliament for this area. I was there for 5 years, 2006 to 2011. Then 2011, I was elected to be here. I had to go back again to be elected in 2016. And then I had to go back again to the people in 2021. Don't ask me whether I'll go back in 2021. Okay? I think that is okay.
We're really grateful on it. I know the children would have picked up so much knowledge. Thank you.
The trophies that I've told you have just one here. The package that we brought to me, Global Award for Sustainable. You see this we have just won this, China. And this one, 2023 Global Award.
The one which you cherish the most.
Oh, wonderful. What I cherish the most. Oof. It may not necessarily be the trophy here, but the recognition by the people of Kampala that I am a vanguard of European constitution. I cherish that so much. You see, it feels so good to be loved by the people. It feels so good. People trust you, they believe in you, and they say, yes, what you are doing, we are really confident that, we are satisfied that you are doing the best. So I think that's what gives me that kind of satisfaction, gratification. And I cherish that so much. That I treasure it so much, the love of the people.